He had the mirror, then he would open. It was a compact, we say compact, and the women used to be the powder, was, and you had the mirror. So that's what he had. He just opened up, it was a mirror, and it was a picture of Guru Maharaj. And he had the ball, and he would take the little spoon. He didn't pour from the lotus. He put the little spoon and put a couple drops of water in, then he got his ball. You could sit there and watch him. And he could be completely oblivious to everyone because he was focused on what he was doing all the time. It wasn't like doing one thing and watch over here, see who's looking at him. No, he just, and then of course there's that one picture you see. There's one picture you see Prabhupada, and he's like, and that's what, just watching how he did each spot of his body you could see every day, and he did everywhere. He didn't think, well, I'm going to put a kurta on so I can skip all the inside place. No one will know anyway. No, he did everything all the time. And then he would chant Gayatri Mantra. And of course he had Sannyas Mantra, in addition, added on to the Gayatri Mantra. So now you're sitting in the room, Prabhupada's behind the desk, sitting straight, got his hand under his kurta. So what does everyone do? You chant your Gayatri Mantra. Prabhupada's chanting, we're chanting. So for me that was always meant, now we're going to have fun. Because Prabhupada also knew. See, as serious as he was also very funny. All the qualities are there. There's not just gravity, not just being great. There's also a very good sense of humor. Prabhupada, after all, just have to go back to his childhood and know. Prabhupada was a bit mischievous. Prabhupada says, an intelligent child breaks the mridanga to see what's inside making the noise. And that's the child. Prabhupada, when he was a young boy, you all know the story about the guns, right? His father took him, he was always going out with his father. The other thing I saw and I heard over and over again was how much love there was in that family. How much Prabhupada loved his mother and father. We know how much he speaks about his father so much. How he credits his father for giving him Krishna consciousness. Everyone he met, what did he say? Please, he would give his donation and said, please, just you bless my son that he become servant of Srimati Radharani. That was his prayer. And that was the result. A few times he said to me, when speaking about his father, that was the one, he told the story about his father. He said, when I was young, now this he said was about 8 years old, his father would take him out, they'd go shopping. He said there was one store, this is in Calcutta, so it was a shoe store. And he said in it, they had English shoes. He said, and he wanted a pair of shoes. Every day that he was passing, he wanted the shoes. He said they were leather shoes from England. And that was like very... So his father bought him the shoes. He said, I liked them very much. He's telling me this as I'm giving him a massage in the evening, sitting on his bed under a mosquito net with him. That was, they often say, my most favorite moments. There's so many of them, but that's one of them. Being in a bed, a single bed, with Prabhupada under a mosquito net, because it's like you're in a tent with him. It's like you're camping out with Prabhupada. See, this was, I had my own little fantasy world when I was with Prabhupada. So when I was in there, that was it. There was no other world. There was just Prabhupada and me in the tent. So that in itself was beyond belief. And then you're massaging him and he starts telling you stories. It happened just 3-4 times. He's told me all these childhood pastimes. So he said about the shoes. So I'm trying to envision Prabhupada walking as a young child. It was always very difficult. He would talk about his childhood. I would try to see that child, because when he told you, when Prabhupada told stories, they were live action stories. Like he was there, you know, and he would very often, if there were different characters, he would like speak in their way. So he really brought you in. And the whole time you're doing your service. Everything is connected to that. That was always my realization, was you do service, you get nectar. You don't do service, you don't get anything. You get the miseries of the material world. Huh? But if you're engaged in service, just like we're doing here, it's been difficult getting my way here over the last 6 days. There's been a lot of travel, missed night sleeps, but there's no regret. It's just ecstasy, because I'm just with Prabhupada, because you're with Prabhupada. That's what we want. That was what Prabhupada did. You know, that was his trick. He infected us. I was with him personally. He infected you with his love. You know, and you can't get away from that. When someone gives you unconditional love, what choice do you have but to try to serve that person? A person of such elevated standing, a person from the spiritual world. You just have to serve him because he's just so wonderful. That's what he did. He just bonded you with how much he cared for you. So I'm just massaging him, and he starts talking. I'll go from the beginning. Before the massage, this is in June 1975. So every evening, Prabhupada has hot milk, boiling hot milk, a little sugar or honey. And sometimes he'd have puris and sabji. It was very amazing because he had full lunch at 1 o'clock. So now, 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, he'd ring his bell and he'd say, "You can make me paratha and potato eggplant." Imagine. And I do it, and next night, so one night he showed me how to make parathas. Another night, showed me how to make cabbage and potato with puris. And always there's sandesh, or gulab jamun, or rasgulla on the plate. Every meal, dairy and sugar was on his plate. Every meal there was a sweet and there was dairy. So he called me in that evening in his room, and he said, tonight, he said, make puffed rice. Muri. We call it muri. We call it puffed rice and peanuts. Chance.